Hey there everyone, Andrew Roberts here and welcome to this week's topic, and it's a really interesting topic and I wanted to talk about a client of mine that recently raised the question of depression, and we're going to actually talk about some depression warning signs, and I'm going to give you my take on depression and some solutions that I've come to learn over the years that may very well help people that are maybe dealing with some of these signs. But I want to point out I'm not an expert, I'm not a doctor. And so you can apply some of these tools and techniques that I'm going to talk about. And if they work, fantastic. If they don't, you need to go and see the expert, okay? So I just want to really make that clear. But let's just look at this topic, depression warning signs. It's something, once again, that why would you be bringing this onto the table? But I just wonder how many people out there do experience some of these signs. And I know from my experience, I have experienced or felt these feelings of an absolute lack that's going on in our lives. It was when I started my career as a business coach, and I was $150,000 in debt, and it was like my whole life turned on its head. And these are some of the signs that you may very well be experiencing. For me, it was an enormous lack of energy, an enormous demotivation, an enormous feeling of I'm not worthy, a really low self-esteem, confidence. Everything felt hard. At the time, I remember when I was going through all this stuff, my brain's busy. I couldn't put my finger on what's going wrong. I'm usually a really positive, bubbly guy. Why am I feeling so heavy? Heavy's the word. I started drinking to numb the pain that I was feeling. I'd drink a lot more, and obviously the drinking temporarily would make you feel fine, but the next day it was terrible. I got to the point where I really struggled getting out of bed, and I remember I was kidding everyone. I was able to put on a brave face and trick everyone that I was fine, but I wasn't. So my experience with depression started around about 10 years ago when I actually started my business as a business coach. And before starting, high self-esteem, high confidence, it wasn't working for me. $180,000 in debt and very low self-esteem, low confidence, getting rejected enormously. I think a lot of rejection and a lot of things going not according to plan start creating a lot of these feelings of depression. And some of these feelings you may very well be experiencing now. So just to pinpoint it for you, massive lack of energy, massive feeling of procrastination, just the effort of doing things. It felt like I had this big backpack full of weights on my back. I really weighed down. It felt everything was going wrong in my life at this time. It was like I was getting parking fines. It was like I was getting more bills coming in. It was like, why is this happening? Very much a feeling of poor me going on as well, and very hard to snap out of it. Even though I was trying to do these positive affirmations and, come on Andrew, what's going on? I was getting angry at myself. The other thing that happened to me when I was going through all this experience, so if you can imagine business going really badly, I had a relationship breakdown as well. So my girlfriend at the time left me, walked out on me, and my parents almost started. It felt like they were abandoning me. They weren't. That's what it felt like, that they don't love me, they don't care. My friends stopped calling me. It's like you give off this smell, I think, when you're going through this. Everything was going really wrong. And so I'd numb these feelings by drinking. That was my coping mechanism. I was drinking a lot, even smoking a lot of cigarettes back then, just to sabotage. We eat. We do all these crazy things to give ourselves temporary relief. And I remember I really struggled getting out of bed in the morning. That's when it got really bad. Alarm would go off, I'd turn it off and sometimes pull myself out of bed at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. These are on school days, mind you. I just didn't want to face the world. And as I've said, I have learned a lot about these depression warning signs, being a coach that's gone through it, but then also equally seen many business owners seem to fall into this because of overwhelm, stress, anxiety, and facing fears. It's an enormous thing. So I'm going to give you some tools now to help you deal with these. I was very fortunate to have a major flip in my life that snapped me out of depression. And I'm going to cover that at the end, but I'm going to give you, if you like, there's 4 things we're going to talk about that can assist. And the number one is clarity. Okay? I believe a major reason why we're getting these feelings of depression, things going wrong, is our brain is focusing heavily on what we don't want. It's like a downward spiral. When you're stressed and you're focusing on it, it gets worse. And then you get a parking fine in my case, and then you think about that, and then, and it causes more stress. And then it's like we're giving off this massive energy of lack, and that just fuels it. It creates this downward spiral. And what we need to do, here's a really, really simple but effective tool. Write down everything in your life right now that you're not liking. Just regurgitate it on paper, everything that's going wrong. And I mean everything. Hate getting bills, hate the fact that my parents aren't calling, my friends aren't calling, I hate the fact that I can't pull myself out of bed. All the feelings that you're experiencing. And I call it a pivot point switch. And what that is you take the negative feeling, the don't want, and you ask yourself the question, what's the opposite of that? And you write out the entire opposite of what you're feeling. And what you do is you consciously hold your energy on what you do want. Okay, it's remarkable. As soon as you hit bottom, it's an amazing thing. You can actually got the opportunity to spin back up, but you've got to shift. There's got to be a point where you shift energy. Okay, just try it, and you'll see a profound impact. Because well, look, often things go wrong in our life as a major blessing in disguise to flip us over to putting our energy into what we want, or to actually lead us onto this second point here, which is, are you on the right bus? Now, I'll talk about this in another video. I'm not going to spend much time here, but often all these things are going wrong with us because we have an inner knowing we should be doing something, but we're avoiding it. We're not being true to our heart, our intuition. And as a result, we're getting what's called taps. I call them punishments. Things go wrong when you're not being true to your instinct, okay? And so your true path or your right bus is this way, but you're pushing this way, and you're fighting against what you're supposed to be doing. And all these things are saying, screaming at you, saying, get on the right bus, get on the right path. So learn to tap into your intuition. And in my case, what I do when I'm feeling really off is I go into nature, I get away from noise, and I let myself listen to what my intuition's saying. Thirdly, this is huge. Change your definition of success. You know, I find that so many of us have an expectation of being somewhere by a certain age. I mean, I had this expectation that by the age of 30, I'd be retired, traveling the world. When you don't reach your expectation, guess what? You beat yourself up. It's like you think you should be at a certain place by a certain time in your life, and then you're angry or disappointed with yourself. But when we change our definition of success, everything changes. You start feeling more relaxed, you start being more present, you start enjoying life more, you accept yourself, and it's the ability to stop comparing yourself to others. What other people think of you is none of your business. It's like if you removed all your friends out of the equation, then if you're not comparing yourself to others, and if you shifted your expectation of needing to be somewhere by a certain stage in life, watch the difference. It just brings enormous flow. Next thing, number 4, shift focus from you to helping others. I mean, there's a little saying, selfish people are always thinking about how they're feeling and how they're analysing themselves, okay? They're working out, why am I feeling this? Why am I feeling that? Maybe I'm depressed, maybe I'm that. Getting so caught up in their head. Selfless people, on the other hand, don't have time to think about themselves because they're so busy focusing and helping others. Shift focus. When you focus on making other people happy, you will in return attract other people helping make you happy. It's true. Get out of your own way. And last but not least, number 5, the most powerful lesson I've ever learnt, it won't last. You know, where you're at right now, if you're experiencing these signs and things going wrong in your life, it's not going to last. We know this. You break up in a relationship, okay, and you can be really down in the dumps, but time heals everything. It passes. Equally, you can have the most incredible experience in your life, the massive win. You can maybe get a big pay rise, or if you're in business, win this big opportunity, and you get elated excitement and feeling. That's not going to last either. It's like this roller coaster. We have these ups, and then we have the downs, and then we have the ups, and we have the downs. If you're down now, give it time. You're going to experience the up. It's just part of the cycle. If you're really up, guess what? You're going to have times when you get hit with the downs, and everything balances out. Okay, so just to summarize the 5 ideas: work on clarity, work on moving your head from what you don't want to what you want. Are you on the right bus? Learn to listen to your intuition. Change your definition of success. Focus on others and realize it won't last. Would really love and appreciate to hear your comments below. Please forward this on to others that you may think might benefit from this. Remember, a lot of people won't speak up about this. So maybe share this out with your Facebook fans, or you could send the link via Twitter, or even shoot the email on to others. We'd really appreciate it. But also, if you've got some other tools, techniques to help those that might be experiencing some depression warning signs, by all means comment below. Last but not least, if you try these techniques and nothing happens, then, see the experts. So thank you. See you next time. It's too lovey-dovey, but I want to bring something where I get. I'll tell you what. Why is suicide going up? Why are we getting more teen depression? Why are the amount of visits to doctors? I went over to a waiting room, packed, couldn't get in. Why are more people on depressive drugs? I mean, is it just me, or is anyone else? Does this piss anyone else off? Don't you reckon? Oh, bugger. Just gonna have a drink of water. Those nuts are the worst thing.